Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. All right, guys, what we have got to talk about this morning is one of the more important concepts and trends that are starting to develop around the argument for Second Amendment rights and against gun control. Now, you guys, we have talked about Bruin ad nauseum. It's incredibly important, but we have talked about it a whole lot. But now, because the lawsuits that are coming against New York, even media environment, even gun rights organizations, we're starting to realize that the left wants gun control so badly that they are fully willing to embrace and endorse historically racist practices in order to achieve gun control. The ends will justify the means. That is the way this is going. And if you want to defeat gun control, this is the argument that you put your flag in, because it is undefendable when you look at what they're actually trying to do in federal court, specifically in New York. That's what we're going to talk about. I cannot wait to hear what you guys think about this one. And please send this out, because this is going to be incredibly important as it grows in notoriety. I'm going to say a quick word from our sponsor, Arms Directory. They made the content possible that we're about to hit on, and then we're going to hit it, and I cannot wait to hear what you guys think, because I need you to send this one out, and I need you to comment down there to help this get out, because this is huge. Now, Arms Directory is a 2A friendly social network and marketplace of ideas. With social media at large censoring a majority of freedom, Arms Directory is a safe harbor for freedom for all of us in the 2A movement. They are the only 2A protected social network out there to post about our shared passions freely. You're free to post your favorite freedom pics, view blog posts of the industry, find local events, and more. And make sure to join the LOA family group and follow me on Arms Directory, because it's, like I said, it's a free place where we can actually express some things that we're rather fond of. But like I said, thank you so much to Arms Directory. Let's dive into this. We have got to talk about this, guys. All right. So, in order to set the table for this video, I'm going to walk you through the last 2 to 3 years of wokeness from the left. In summation, and in general, this country is a terrible country because it embraced terrible practices in our history, and therefore, because it did in the history, we are unjustifiably benefiting from that unjust history. Therefore, it's bad. We must tear it down and build it back in a socialist utopia, which has equity for all. Did I miss any points? Just saying. But the really important thing here, and this is so asinine, and something that we cover on this channel a lot, the left's pillars of their woke agenda, they can't stand by themselves. Together. They can stand by themselves, they cannot stand together. For example, when we're talking about the good moral character in the New York case, you can't say on one hand that America is a terribly inundated country with racism at its roots, but then when you want gun control, say, no, it's perfectly fine. Bruin said we had to have historical precedent. So we were historically racist, so therefore we can prohibit rights of citizens now because of the historic racism. You can't make this up. Everything is linked. Like I said, oh, goodness gracious. All right, here we go. Good moral character requirement in New York concealed carry law has racist roots, to a group says. Now, this came out today. This is incredibly important, and we started hitting on this about last week when we saw it in multiple court cases, because this is the way that the Biden Department of Justice is arguing across the board for gun control. They did it in Florida on a marijuana case, and they're doing it now in the New York case. There are multiple precedents where they are actually utilizing prior racist discrimination and prohibition of rights as reason to prohibit rights now. Here we go. New York says its history of racist laws that allowed for disarming Catholics and indigenous people supports a good moral character requirement for obtaining a concealed carry license, a point that Second Amendment group sees as a bad faith argument for gun control. You think? Again, please see the last 3 years of tear down America because of these terrible things, except when it's gun control, in which case those terrible things, which were terrible, are now necessary for my end goal, so that's okay. Let's keep going. The requirement is part of the Concealed Carry Improvement Act that Governor Kathy Hochul, Democrat, New York, signed in July and marks the first major attempt to defend the state's notorious gun restrictions after the Supreme Court struck down the state's similarly subjective good reason clause in New York State Rifle and Pistol Association v. Bruin earlier this summer. So in these state cases, they're actually defending the fact that, well, yeah, we can have good moral character and it's subjective. That's the whole point. GOA sued them, and their argument is as follows. God, you cannot make this stuff up. New York's reasoning for the good moral character clause, which permits state officials to deny gun carry applications subjectively, is because the Supreme Court requires a historical basis for any law that contradicts the text of the Second Amendment. You have to have a historical precedent. So, what did the left do? Oh, well, we've done that before. It's okay. We can prohibit. In response to the CCIA, Gun Owners of America sued New York State Police Superintendent Kevin P. Bruen earlier this month, prompting the state's unusual defense of the statute's good moral character standard by his counsel. State attorneys representing Bruen said the statute is deeply rooted in, quote, centuries of Anglo-American law and tradition as the basis for why it should be upheld in court. We prohibited Catholics in the 17th and 18th century based on their religion from having firearms, so we're good now. Oh, indigenous people groups? No, they couldn't have firearms either because the government did that. All those racist practices, but that was bad then. But now that we want gun control, that's extremely helpful precedent, isn't it? It's historical. Look at the historical basis. They're actually making this argument. This is the easiest thing to defeat in the world because they're basing it on this? It hurts. Quote, from the early days of English settlement in America, the colonies sought to prevent Native American tribes from acquiring firearms, passing laws forbidding the sale and trading of arms to indigenous people. The state argued in court documents filed on August 15th. What? This is in a mainline source. This is in the Washington Examiner. GOA, we're about to hear from in a second, they're actually involved as well. This is not a small-time crackpot notion. This is a big argument they're making. GOA's Senior Vice President Eric Pratt told the Washington Examiner that the judge presiding over the case asked, quote, very pointed questions for the state of New York during the most recent hearing on Tuesday. Pratt said U.S. District Judge Glenn Suddaby, quote, told the state attorney that New York has now made it very hard to carry firearms concealed. Yeah, no kidding. Quote, and our attorney pointed out that in defending their restrictions on concealed carry, the state has utilized the racist laws from our past to justify its new bans, Pratt said. Extremely well worded. I'm just going to say it right now. If you are a Republican on the campaign trail about gun control being a hot topic in your area, if you are anyone who is in a sitting seat of power in a committee or in a I can't even think of it. It's so irritating. If you have a way to actually look at this and utilize this, I don't know, Second Amendment Freedom Caucus, all those things, those two caucuses, that's pretty good information. If you are literally looking to win the argument on gun rights forever, utilize the fact that they are saying, hey, it's racist, so it was okay then, it's okay now. And that's what I've got for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments field below, and I will see you tonight at the 9 p.m. segment. I'm Braden. See you later.